How are you going dieting with like productivity?
Very well. I get all my shit done in the morning. So I'm up at 4 and I have...
Yeah, I couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah. So
I got a message from you at 4 o'clock this morning.
yeah, I messaged a lot of people like 4 o'clock because I've got a client over in Canada. She's like, "You're up at this time?" I'm like, "Yes." So I've sort of changed the structure a little bit with it, that I get up and the first sort of 20-30 minutes is just pure nothing, no phone, nothing, just pure writing. So I write out the intentions for the day of what I want to achieve, and then obviously correlate that to the month and year and make sure everything's sort of adding up. So that's my new sort of thing.
Yep.
I got that from Jackson Peels. He calls it the contract. I've called mine the mission log because I'm a bit more of a fucking nerd. And so, yeah, that just dictates what are the non-negotiables for the day and really helps my sporadically stupid brain to feel a bit more organised. Ever since doing this, I've done it consecutively since when I went to Clean Health Gold Coast, so however many days that is. So I've filled out almost 3 books worth of stuff. And it's honestly very scary that everything that I've written in there is happening.
Yeah.
It's not like some bullshit woo-woo like The Secret where it's like, I write down I'm going to get a Ferrari and all of a sudden, the next day there's a Ferrari. It's more, I think, just aligning myself to get the shit done that makes my business grow.
Yep.
And, if whatever time that is for whoever it is, I think having that time of like no distraction with your phone and not thinking, especially as I think as PTs, we're so concerned with looking at other PTs and thinking what they're doing.
Yeah.
So if you get rid of that distraction of looking at them while you're doing your own business, it becomes yours. It's not impacted by whatever other people are doing. So I really have become disciplined with that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I haven't done it for a while. I used to do the Sensor app.
Yep.
So you like log your mood once a week. You do like a review, and then there was like little exercises that you had to do complete during the day. And then once you kind of done the onboarding thing, most of it's just like 5-10 minutes of journaling every day.
Yep.
But I tended to only lean on it when I was stressed. So I guess being proactive with it.
You're not stressed all the time.
Well, yeah, like there's levels, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's like sometimes I would do it and be like, "Oh, you only have mild anxiety this month." Like, fuck yeah, I fucking made it, bro. It's not extreme. That was the only downside of doing it. I think was like I'm super scared of labels.
Yep.
So I like when I would consistently see like I would get like moderate was like kind of okay, and then it'd be high and then very high. If I was like high to very high, I'd be like, oh, like, and try and I don't want to think about that.
I think the only thing I can see with that, which might help you with just writing it from your own brain, is that it's allowing for you to assess it, not an app.
Yeah, well, this is just like your report on your feelings, and then you do your journaling separate.
Oh, right,
so,
okay.
like, I could definitely do that. It's interesting. It came up on the last podcast. Like, it started wearing a cross, and we're having a kid looking into like what's going on with school and even just frameworks that we want to look at. Like I went to Catholic school all the way through, but I wouldn't have called myself religious. Like I've never, outside of events, gone to church because I want to. But then like you look at the impact of what's a grateful log, what's a journal, it's all prayer. We've been doing it for fucking 4,000 years. It's the same.
Well, that's why there's so many studies on it, which is nuts, and it's all very good.
Yeah, and it's like it seems to be pretty fucking useful.
Yeah. So the weird thing is the stigma that it has. It's almost the same point of like, it's just like, oh, you journal. Like, what is it, dear diary? I'm on like prone on my bed. My feet are up. I'm kicking. I'm like, I can't believe Chad didn't speak to me today. It's like, no, it's not.
Face your asshole at the sun or something.
It's like it's not like that. It's just like for me. It's a setup of going, where do I want to go with my business? So I write down some fucking ludicrous shit in there that I'm like, this will happen.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay, to get there, because that's the outcome, what's the process to get there? And then I write down all the process that I need to do on a daily, weekly basis. And it just simplifies your day. You're like, if that is done, there's nothing else you can do. And also what that allows you to have is it frees up time for you to play. Yeah. To fucking just chill out. Like, because especially with me and Liana in a one-bedroom apartment, we've just got the living room where we work and we do fucking everything. So if we were and we are still really bad at this because we need a daughter to be able to shut off work from life, but sometimes we just catch ourselves staring at our calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what can I do? It's like, no, you've done everything.
Yeah.
Go for a fucking walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge.
So that side of things has revolutionized my productivity.
Yep.
You don't have to do it at 4 a.m. like me, but I just wake up because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But so from that is honestly just shifted the whole routine. Things that I used to procrastinate over, I do not anymore. It just gets done.
Yeah, it's cool. I think the biggest thing for business owners, I actually posted about this on the weekend, on Monday, and I find this really challenging, right? So I know that there's personal trainers that would look to us and be like, we want to know what you do because you're doing stuff. And I want insight to that. So you want to be like, well, this is all the shit I did today. But I don't want to do it in a way and be like, because I'm better than you. But I also just be like, that's actually, because I had a really cool conversation with a PT a couple of weeks ago. It was a Thursday afternoon call, and I was like, this is what I've done today. He went white. And I was like, so you can coach people and just do that. And that's okay. And he was like, oh. And I'm like, stop trying to... Just the questions he was asking in the mentoring calls were sort of half business mentoring, half like life sort of stuff. And he was like, oh, I just want to like do a lot of the stuff that you're doing. I'm like, do you? Because like, this is what it looks like. And he was like, actually, fuck that. So when it comes to content, it's like, I want to show the other side of this is actually what goes into a day, especially when it's busy, especially when it's chaotic. And then also like Monday, I walked into my office and I was just like,
no,
where do I even fucking start?
Yep.
Like, it's going to take me an hour just to comprehend the to-do list, to get it on paper, to then organize it, to then start, which is ultimately what I had to do. It's the only way for me to get past it. But I want to show that too and be like, I walked into my office on Monday, like, feeling sick. Like, how am I going to do this week? And then after 2 hours, I was like, oh, that's how it's fun. So I think, like, this journaling thing is, like, you're on top of that every day.
Yep.
And it's just like, if I just do this, I'm fine. If I just do this, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's definitely, because I was in the Hormozy camp for a bit, just like, fucking wake up and work. It's like, okay, that works for some people, but I can't just do that. It's like a blank piece of paper, right? What do you start with?
I think it works if you know what you're to do.
Exactly, yeah. But, sometimes you just get lost in doing stuff that isn't essential for your business.
Yeah.
Which is the most common thing. But if you, write down your intentions for every day and you go, okay, well, these are the set essentials that have done X to my business, grown it by this much from the data that I've fed into whatever it is you're tracking, you go, oh, well, all I need to do this until I find a limit.
Yeah.
And then adjust.
Yeah.
Which I haven't found yet. I haven't found that limit. And I write that in my journal as well. It's like my limit still hasn't found as far as client load yet.
Yep.
With my training and whatever else. So it's like there is still room there that I still feel like it's good essential time to push for.
Yeah.
Which, for me, it's, the last time that I found my limit was I was doing 50 sessions a week and I had a panic attack on the bathroom floor and froze like a goat, when they scare goats. So like that. Yeah. So that's happened.
Found it.
Yeah. So that's only happened twice.
Yeah.
And the first time was I was a massage therapist and the same thing, it happened. I was like, I don't know how much money am I fucking making or who's coming in today, and I'm running 2 other jobs on the side just to try and make this work, and it happened in a car park just fucking randomly.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, there's 2 points there, and the feedback I got from both of them is I didn't know what was happening in my business.
Yeah. And that's where the anxiety comes from.
Yeah, but then I've got the journal now and I know exactly what's happening, and I know exactly what stuff has helped me get to that point. There's no anxiety anymore. Of course, there's anxiety. I just had a coffee. I'm anxious. So it's like, and you and Jason have obviously, taught me all of this as well. Is like the more, and we just literally spoke about it in the other podcast, is like the more data you can feed into it, the less anxious you are. Yeah. But also you've got to make sure that data is conducive to you getting a result, either A, getting paid more conlients, better content, whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
Because if your data is like, oh, I want this PT to like my posts or other fucking bullshit metrics that mean nothing, well, that's where stress will happen.
Yeah. It's interesting. I used to have probably quarterly, maybe when it was real busy, maybe monthly. It's like, and I didn't even think it was a weird thing at the time. So I had days I physically couldn't get out of bed. And I'd barely eat. I'm like a stressed don't eat. And then like over the day to just slowly, I'd open up like my goals, or I used to watch, this is fucking really lame. I used to watch Get Rich or Die Trying all the time.
Yeah.
When I had those days, just like, I'm just watch 50 be a fucking badass.
Yeah, sick.
And I'm like, I'm a badass too. It'll be fine.
I'm in the hood.
Yeah, you're selling personal training, not dope, bro.
Yeah.
You're okay. And then, I'd eat a bucket of chicken and then wake up and be fine the next day. And like go again. Obviously didn't really have the presence of mind at the time to be like, hey, this is bad for you. We ended up making business choices because that was a consistent thing. But most people I think are they're so scared of that happening that they never get to the point where it does.
Yep.
And it's actually, and maybe people are going to come at me for saying this. I'm like, it's actually okay.
Yep.
Nothing bad happened.
Absolutely. When PTs ask me, that same question, I go, well, just find the limit.
Yeah.
Maybe you can comfortably do 40 people a week. I can't.
Yeah.
I find I want to do a service that I believe is world class, and I cannot do that with
that many people. Yeah.
I think there's some number that you can really like. Dunbar's number, I think, is 150, but then there's another number
close relationship one,
80 lower. Or something. So it's like, okay, well, if you're flirting with that,
family. Yeah,
and then you've got, like you said, other relationships, you're like, well, okay, and then those people are just going to fall to the wayside as well.
Yeah.
So, that's all really now, and I write that in my journal. I go, okay, well, the limit will be here. That's it. It's cut off. And then you go, okay, well, from that point, I raise my prices, and the journey continues again.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get to that point of thinking that I need to do more. Because then it just impacts me everywhere. I'm going to be a shit fucking, I can pretty much say husband to Liana, a bad dog dad, all these other things, because I'll just be so locked in, and it's taken me, I think, since working with you guys to realize that it's, it's not this goal of like how much more can you fucking squeeze out of that thing, but just making sure that, you're still squeezing it. You want to get obviously massive results and success, but it's like, make sure that you're squeezing that into a very targeted audience, not just all over a fucking table. Yeah.
And I think Jason and I obviously have discussions quite a bit, and there's like a group of grads from Standout that are like incredibly successful in our eyes based on the time. And you're in that group of like,
thank you.
How long you've been in the industry for and what you're able to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane for us to even be like, how? Like, we didn't even know. We knew Good Life Point Cook, and that was it.
Yep.
And it was like, oh my God, Charles is coming to Melbourne. And like, fucking BPAC's going to be here. And oh, wow. It was like, we didn't have access to people like that then. It was like 5 people on YouTube.
T-Nation.
And fucking 4 people on Facebook. Unless you were in forums. And then it was like, that was it. And the forums that was like bodybuilding. It wasn't how to be a good personal trainer. It wasn't business. It wasn't none of that shit. Personal trainers didn't have social media. It wasn't even a thing. So looking at it now, sometimes we're like, fuck, the boys just need to just look at that thing and just keep fucking going.
Yeah.
But we also we were so impatient at the time. Like, we should be doing better. We should be here. We should be this. And we still have that feeling. And we always used to talk about, like, this is the critical mass year. It's coming. This is the critical mass time. We still haven't had it, but we kind of are, but it's not in the way that we thought.
Yeah, I think you just flirt with it the whole time.
Yeah.
Because like that goalpost just keeps moving, right?
We thought critical mass was like, we're going to all overnight have 20,000 followers.
Yep.
But it's like, well, critical mass is we have 4 gym partnerships.
Yep. Which is
not public.
Yeah.
But it's still really cool.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's more of a flex than fucking imaginary people on the internet.
Yeah. Yes and no. I'd still like to have the other one too, in terms of just like monetization. But I think we were super impatient with that, so we did everything. We overcomplicated everything. We did anyone that was here, we went. Any podcast, like we used to be able to mimic Phil Loney, like ridiculous. when I met Ben, I was like, bro, I've spent like 100 hours with you and you don't even know who I am. This is weird. Whereas you guys now, it's like you're seeing 100 people that are as big as those guys were.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
And
I don't follow any of them though.
The pressure of the social media and all of that to be like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Back then it was just like, I did more sessions than everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
I did more sessions, I did more courses, I know more.
Yeah, so. And my clients get better results. And it's like, you walk in, so mornings, be like 9 times out of 10, Jace would be the only one that beat me to the gym, but I'd always leave last.
Yep.
And that was like my thing.
It's the flex.
It's like, all right, this is it. Is the fucking car park it over here. Whereas now, it's like, oh, well, that person's got 50,000 followers. That person's got 500,000 followers. That person's got 5,000 when you're starting out. It's like, oh, man, I'm nothing. So even if you are the biggest fish in your small pond that we talked about on the other pod, like you're number one in your gym, you're still like, I'm not good enough.
Yep.
So it's so easy. I think listening to what you've described and seeing even the turnaround in the last, 8 weeks with your business, being able to just be like, no, this is the thing that actually, for lack of a better term, like puts bread on the table.
Yep.
This is what brings in clients. This is what gets results. This is what delivers, rather than what's everyone else doing that I need to be doing.
I couldn't give a fuck what other people are doing, and I don't follow a lot of other PTs. I follow people who produce and give value.
Yeah.
Who I believe that, I can just copy their content and rebrand it. So, I said it. That's what everyone's fucking doing. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
So